What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Dub Money event week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for December 8th through December 12th, 2022, which is a Monday. So that pretty much confirms the December DLC is releasing next Tuesday, which is very exciting. However, Rockstar hasn't confirmed it yet, so it could change. I will put the full details on the pinned comment if anything changes, so definitely make sure you guys check the pinned comment of this video. The current prize ride for this week is the Z-Type. So this car is primarily based on the Bugatti Type 57 and it has a normal price of $950,000. To get this car for free, you have to place top 1, meaning first place, in an LS Car Meet Series race for 3 days in a row. Now in terms of performance, this car is in the Sports Classics class and is around 15th place in that class depending on the track. However, in terms of top speed, till this day, it still remains to have the highest non-HSW top speed in the Sports Classics class, which is very impressive. In terms of the test ride vehicles for this week, we have the Vector, the Sultan RS Classic, and the Coquette D10 as well. And for next-gen console players, we have the Vigero ZX as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Now in terms of a casino podium vehicle, we have the recently added Postlude. So this vehicle is primarily based on the first gen Honda Prelude and it has a normal price of about 1.3 million and a trade price of just under $1 million. In terms of performance, it's in the Coupes class and is actually the slowest one in that class for track performance, so it's a car that you buy more for its styling and customization, not so much its performance because it's pretty slow. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, for luxury autos, we have the Vigero ZX and the Corsita. And for Simeons, we have the Drager, the Champion, the Astron, the Cinquemila, and the Ignis as well. So some really expensive vehicles there at Simeons this week. Moving on to discounts, in terms of property discounts, we have 40% off the agency property, as well as 40% off the armory and vehicle workshop upgrades. So for those of you who want the ability to install Monitech upgrades at a substantial entry discount, now's your chance. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the recently added Corsita. This car is in the sports class and is in top 10 depending on the track. However, it's still a ways off the pace of some of the top sports cars like the Italian GTO and the Pariah. Moving along, we have 30% off the Cinquemila. So this car is in the sedans class and is actually the current king of that class for track performance. However, the Reinhardt and the Schafter V12 are still very closely competitive, so it really just depends on the track. Next up, we have 30% off the Astron. So this vehicle is in the SUVs class and is in top 3 depending on the track. However, the Tauros is a lot faster, handles better, and is a lot cheaper than the Astron. Moving along, we have 30% off the Champion. So this car is in the supercar class and is one of the biggest disappointments in terms of performance, being one of the slowest cars in that class for track performance. And to put it into perspective, it's even slower around a track than the Buffalo STX from the muscle cars class, which I find absolutely hilarious. But it's still a pretty good looking car with some good customization and of course the Monitech, so I guess that's kind of its main feature there. Next up, we have 30% off the Ignis. So this car is of course in the supercar class and is around 10th place in that class depending on the track, and it's actually around the same pace as the Torero XO, which is very fitting. So I guess it all comes down to which one you think looks better. Moving along, we have 30% off the Coquette D10. So this car is in the sports car class and is around 30th place in that class due to its poor acceleration and below average handling. However, its main strength is top speed, so I guess there's that. Plus it has the incredible styling, being very close to the Corvette C8 design, and it has great customization as well. Moving on to the Southern San Andreas website, we have 30% off the recently added Reinhardt. This car is in the sedans class and is very competitive in that class against the Cinquemila and the Schafter V12 as I stated earlier. I absolutely love the styling of this car, plus it has great customization as well. If you like wagons and don't have this car already, I would highly recommend it. Next up, we have 20% off the Vigero ZX. So this car is of course in the muscle car class and is in top 5 for that class for track performance, losing to the Buffalo STX. However, if you're on next gen, the HSW Vigero ZX is the king of the class. Plus, of course, it has the incredible styling and customization, and it's my personal favorite vehicle from the Criminal Enterprises DLC. Moving along, we have 30% off the Draugr. So this vehicle is of course in the off-roads class and is the current king of that class. I honestly think it's a fantastic deal with the incredible performance and customization that it has. I highly recommend getting one if you don't own it already. Moving on to the latest travels website, we have 20% off the recently added Kanata helicopter. So this is one of the fastest, most agile helicopters in the game. However, the Sparrow does have a higher top speed, so do keep that in mind. In terms of weapon discounts, we have 40% off the Service Carbine and 50% off all special ammo types this week as well. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on the ULP missions, double money NRP on the adversary modes Bunker Resurrection, Collection Time, Diamond Resurrection, Missile Based Resurrection, and the original Resurrection mode as well. We also have 1.5 times money NRP on payphone hits this week. And lastly, the best for last, we have double money NRP on bunker business sales, which is fantastic, and double money NRP on the ammunition deliveries as well. I highly recommend getting on that grind this week. If you haven't started saving money for the new DLC, you are running out of time. Moving on to the Prime Gaming bonuses for Prime Game members only. Again, we have the usual free $125,000 flogging in during the event week period. And lastly, this week's RC Bandito time trial is Cemetery. This week's normal time trial is Tongva Valley. I highly recommend a fast bike such as the Hakachu Drag, Shotaro, or Batty 801 for this time trial. In terms of the premium race for this week, we have the Sports Classics race Crossing Paths. I highly recommend the Turismo Classic, Cheetah Classic, or Retinue Mark II for that race. And if you're on next gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Turismo Classic. And lastly, for next gen console users, the HSW time trial is Terminal. As always, the HSW Hakachu Drag would be the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Draugr. It's at the top of its class for performance. It's under $1 million with this discount. Has great customization, it's insanely fast. I think it's just a fantastic overall, really good deal on this vehicle. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is surprisingly very good, with tons of great vehicle discounts, double money. This will probably be your last chance to grind money before a December DLC with some bonuses, so I highly recommend getting on that grind if you haven't done so already. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.